Salvete, amici et sodales. Welcome to the second video in the series called Mad, Sad, or Numb. If you remember in the first video, we imagined that we were going along on a boat, and you got to pick what boat it was. We imagined that we were just expecting a totally ordinary day because the river represented all the things that carry us along in normal times. And the boat represented our old normal world of teaching and learning in school. And then suddenly that boat hit something that represented all the dramatic changes in a COVID era world. And there we were in the river. And I asked you to imagine that you stretched out your foot and you discovered the river wasn't as deep as you were afraid, and you could actually stand there. Maybe it looked a little bit like this in your mind's eye, and maybe it looked totally different. Maybe these are the kinds of rocks that you saw that boat hit. Either way, what's important right now is that you're okay. You are not going to drown in this river because this river is not as deep and the current is not as fast as you feared. You could actually stay here as long as you wanted. It wouldn't be very comfortable, it might be wet, it might be cold, but you could actually stay in this river as long as you wanted. But notice that it's a river. It's not an ocean. It's not one of the Great Lakes where you can't even see the shore. You can see the shore on either side. And when you look to your right, you discover the shore isn't actually that far away. You just didn't see it before because you were understandably concentrating on the fact that you got thrown out of the boat into the water and you were afraid you were going to drown, right? So again, I'm going to ask you to put your one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach or your gut so you can feel those parts of you. So you can feel what the part of you that those things represent in a lot of culture is saying to you. And close your eyes and imagine you're there in the river, but you're standing firmly and not drowning on the bottom of the river. And you're not stuck. You can move. It's not the kind of river where there's a whole bunch of yucky, sludgy stuff on the bottom. You look to your left, and the left is kind of representing the stuff that's been left behind, the past, right? And it's murky over there. You don't know how deep it is. You probably don't want to go that way. But you look to your right and you observe that the water is actually clearer. And it gets less shallow. Less deep, more shallow. There's less water to your right. And in fact, if you stepped kind of carefully to your right, you'd be in less deep water than you are right now. You could actually keep going and get all the way out of the river if you wanted, but again, there's not really a rush on that. The river isn't that cold. It's not that uncomfortable. You could even just stay where you are, but you probably don't want to stay right where you are. You probably want to take at least one step to your right into shallower water, just because. So, again, think about this. How cold is the water right now? Or how warm? How clear is the water right now? And how deep is it? Where is it on you? Is it like so that your nose is just barely above water? Is it so that your chin is above water? For a lot of people, like their shoulders are just above the water. First time I did this exercise, my heart was above the water, but just barely. It was kind of up to the middle of my chest. Next time I did this exercise, the water was more so just right around my waist. So my heart and my gut were clear. And that felt like a whole lot of progress. So, only you know how deep your water is, and only you know when you're ready to take that step or more than one step to the right into the shallower water. But when you're ready, I want you to take that step or steps, and I want you to notice how deep the water is now, and notice what it feels like. Most likely, you're going to want to talk to somebody about this because you just took a really big step. And that's why I'm going to encourage you to follow the link that's going to be at the end of the video, and it's also in the comments, and schedule a free call with me. Because, again, I've worked with this exercise. I'm familiar with the process. I'll be more than happy to unpack it with you and help you figure out, now what do I want to do? But maybe some people are wanting me to make some more videos and guide them through the process that way, and that's fine too. If you want me to do that, you're going to need to make a comment here or in one of the places that the video is shared, and just let me know so I can know if we need to have more in this series. But either way, whether you decide you need kind of self-guided version or whether you want to talk it through with me and take that next step after that, here's what I want you guys to remember. You're okay, and you're going to be okay. It's bad. I mean, you got thrown into a river, right? We can't pretend that that didn't happen. The boat seems to be gone, or else it's stuck on a rock. Nobody is like jumping out and running over there to save you from the boat, right? Because if they were, you wouldn't be watching this video. You'd be getting them to help you. But there is help and there is hope. And it doesn't have to be difficult, and it doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be hard. But you do need to decide. Because you probably can't do it alone. So you got to let me know, do I want another video to guide me through the process, or do you just want to go ahead and schedule a consultation? Because both of those are really good choices. There's no pressure, there's no rush. But decide when you're ready and let me know. And until then, you take good care and you stay well.